Heyo everybody, Haku here with my finale review for Tensei Shitara Slime Dots Again, or episode 25. I actually think I heard somebody call this episode 24.5, but that aside, I'm pretty sure this is the last episode of the season, no matter what you want to number it. And it was a recap episode. It was kind of weird to have a recap episode at the end of the season rather than the beginning of one or somewhere towards the middle, but I don't mind. Because at first I was like, I'm kind of disappointed this is a recap episode, and if I weren't reviewing the show weekly for the channel, I may have skipped it. I may have said, it's a recap, who cares? So I'm glad I'm reviewing it for the channel, because I loved it. The entire time I was like, okay, this is really funny, this is really good, I like this, it's creative, I enjoy it, and then the end is what totally sold me on it. But yeah, basically, Veldora summoned Ifrit there. It wasn't that Rimuru specifically sent Ifrit there, but Veldora summoned them so that they could play Shoji. And it was a weird recap type thing, but I like it because it's just them talking with scenes playing in the background, and they're kind of not even talking about the scenes most of the time, or just loosely talking about them. So it was really creative. It was pretty much you didn't need the visuals at all, and it was just totally about the sound and what they were saying and everything, and it was so good. I loved when Veldora busted out the Doki Doki Waku Waku, because that always reminds me of Akko from Little Witch Academia saying it all sarcastically and such, Doki Doki Waku Waku. But yeah, it was really funny. I loved everything going on. The voice actors really sold it well. Yeah, the voice actors did a really great job of making it funny and carrying it. Some of the things we learn are like, Ifrit really didn't come off as evil at all. In fact, Ifrit says that they pitied Shizu, really. I love the multitasking thing that Veldora says, where he's trying to free himself, but he can do this too. And then eventually how over time, after these months, Ifrit has basically just joined Veldora in his shenanigans. It's great. And then the Veldoya jokes. Eventually Veldora, because of Rimuru's knowledge and his access to it, becoming obsessed with manga. All of that was great. And then at the end, the part that sold me on it, the part that took this episode where the entire time I was like, okay, this is really fun, this is really funny, it's creative, and I enjoy when things are creative and different and they take a chance on something weird. I was like, I'm going to probably give this an 8 out of 10, but what bumped it up to a 9 out of 10 is when Ifrit's like, okay, checkmate, and we just have Chatamata, we have the yelling from Veldora. It was so good, and then from the yelling and arguing, he starts singing the recap song as that area of the story was playing. I loved it so much. Him just yelling about losing and stuff and trying to hide it, and then singing the recap song. It was so good. I loved it so much. So yeah, the episode as a whole was incredibly creative. The voice actors made it amazing. It really made me like Ifrit as a character. Both of them were great though. So yeah, I'd give it 9 recaps out of 10. Because it was a recap episode, and of course a recap episode score is going to be judging it as a recap episode. If I were to judge it as a story episode, it wouldn't be the same, obviously. But for what it is, totally 9 out of 10. It was really creative, it was really fun and funny, and it ended up being a recap episode. Even though I didn't care at all about the recap, I'm so glad I watched it just for the banter between the two of them, because it was basically just 20 minutes of the two characters, the two voice actors really just bantering back and forth. It was amazing. And so, for my last review of each anime that I review for the last episode in the season, I usually do a general overview score and some general overview thoughts. My thoughts were that the show is super creative. I've echoed this a bunch before, so I won't say too much, but I will say I love that we had the story of building up a colony, really, rather than the normal story you get with these isekai. There was no crazy fan servicey harem. There was no adventure to stop the demon lord, really. I mean, there are those elements present, more making fun of them than anything, or using them to build the world, but it wasn't like the sole purpose of the story. And the story was basically just around building this country of monsters, and I thought it was great. I loved it. I love that we had really good characters. If there was anything I would say that I wish the series did better, I wish the individual characters each got more time and got to be built up a bit more. Maybe in the source material that happens a bit more than it does in the anime, because that's totally common to happen. But yeah, I don't know. Even them not being developed that much, I never thought that was a bad thing, because they were all developed just enough. And they were all just playing a role. If anything, I would have liked to see more personality out of all of them, more than just the role they were playing. But like I said, it was never something that I looked at and thought was bad. So I always averaged the scores together to of each episode, the scores I gave each when thinking of my score for this, and averaging them all together, I got 8.93, which is really, really high, and I kind of agree with it. So I'm giving it 9 Countries of Monsters out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 show for me. It's not perfect, but it's really, really good. I think it stands on its creativity, its dialogue, and just the way it does tropes that we've seen before, but does them differently and makes them its own unique thing. All of that, I think, is the strength. The weakness, there wasn't really much in the way of, like, fighting or anything, because it's all just Rimuru just destroying everybody. But even there were some really good-looking fights from time to time. So all of it was just good. There was nothing in any sort of metric that I would say was bad or was below average. Everything was good, except for a few things like creativity, which were better than good. So, yeah, I have no complaints at all. I'd totally give it 9 out of 10. And Season 2 is coming in 2020, I believe. Don't know if I'll review it for the channel or just watch it on my own. But we'll see. We'll see what else is airing that season and what you all want me to review. And speaking of that, probably in like 2 days, I think I'm going to do it Wednesday, I'm going to make a video where I've watched all the PVs for all the anime airing next season, so I'm going to make a video like I do each season, talking about what's airing next season, whether I'm watching it or not, to give you some ideas of what you might want to watch and stuff. And in addition to that, I'll be saying which ones I plan to give a chance myself to watch. I haven't decided on any to review yet. I'm planning to review 2 or 3 shows, maybe even 4 if people really want me to do 4 shows. But I haven't decided on not a single one yet. I'm more leaving it up to that video for you all to tell me what you'd like to see, because there are a lot of things that look good, but nothing that really stands out as something that's like a must review. So yeah, if you have any suggestions for what you want me to review week to week next season, you can leave it in the comments here, or you can go to that video in 2 days and watch that and comment there. Either way is fine. But yeah, you get to help me make the decision on what to review next season, whether it is 2 to 4 shows. But summer season looks incredible. Holy crap, there's so many, it's going to be hard to choose just 4 or less shows, because any more than that I don't think I would like physically be able to do that week to week. But there are just so many good shows this summer, and fall is looking pretty good. It's starting to shape up already too. Spring, though, lots of shows that look good, but none that really super duper stand out to me, you know? But either way, that's where I'm going to end the video. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode and what you thought of my thoughts on it, what you thought of the season or the series and what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more. Oh yeah, I just realized I gave both the episode and the show a 9 out of 10. Yeah, subscribe for more Tensei Shitara Slime Dot again, maybe. If that's what people want to see at any time in the future. But lots of anime, manga, light novel stuff, among other things. Sub for any of that if you want. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel or talk to you there. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us on Discord about this series or anything else, just ask and I'll give you a link. It's free and open for anyone. So that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.